Hello guys, this is Rob of Rule of Two Review. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And today, we are in the back half of October of 2024, which means that we are slowly but surely running out of time in the year for Nintendo to introduce us to the Switch 2. So as all of us know, October had kind of become singled out in a way as the ideal time or the ideal month for Nintendo to finally reveal the Switch 2 that they told us we were going to see sometime soon earlier this year when Nintendo and Furukawa sent out that tweet from the official Nintendo Twitter account. They had promised us that in this fiscal year, which ends in March next year of 2025, they're going to introduce us to what they referred to as the Switch successor, which we all kind of colloquially call the Nintendo Switch 2 here on the internet and on YouTube. And it was very exciting, and we're still waiting to see if and when that's going to happen, if and when it's going to happen this year, like I have personally believed and still do believe, even though, like I said, we are slowly running out of time in 2024. Last month in September, which traditionally holds a Nintendo Direct of some kind, was the first time in the life of the Switch where there was no Nintendo Direct. There was no official presentation from Nintendo about any updates, really, maybe the occasional trailer here and there. Obviously, the release of a brand new Zelda game, Echoes of Wisdom, which is fantastic, by the way. But there was no Direct, like we're used to getting. Not even a Direct Mini or a Partner Showcase. That happened the month before in August. So when September came and went, without the Switch 2 or any Nintendo Direct presentation, all eyes focused on October. And like I said, here we are in the back half of October. There's still about a week and a half to go, but man, we are running out of time. So I wanted to use this as an excuse to talk about this impending countdown to the reveal, I should say, not the re-reveal, but the reveal of the Switch 2, if it's going to happen this month, if it's going to happen in 2024, or if Nintendo is going to painfully make us wait while they laugh behind the scenes for us to see the thing revealed next year in 2025. By the way, if you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. I am trying to cross the 30,000 subscriber mark sometime over the course of the next year. So if you're new here or you've been watching and never subscribed, then I hope you consider subscribing after watching this video. So let's just get to brass tacks with this. And I want to say that at the end of the day, will we or will we not see the Switch 2 in 2024? I am still leaning towards yes. There's a lot of reasons why I think it makes sense, not the least of which is the fact that I don't think it's going to impact hardware sales. I don't think Nintendo is really worried about Switch hardware sales at this point. They're mostly worried about game sales to carry them until the Switch 2 eventually releases. Now, while I know some of you might think that's counterproductive, I'll remind you of something that I've said in the past and a prediction or a theory I have that I like to lean into, which is if the Switch 2 turns out to be backwards compatible, like I think most of us expect it to be, then that would mean every Switch game that we're going to buy or have bought will be able to be played on the Switch 2. So you might be thinking, Rob, they just released a new Zelda game. They just released a new Mario Party game. They're about to release a new Mario and Luigi game with 3 big first-party IP franchises releasing over the fall and holiday to carry them through the fall and holiday of 2024. Why would they announce a new console and potentially cannibalize their holiday sales? And this is why I say, if they reveal this thing, let's say next week, the last week of October, or sometime like in November, maybe before Black Friday even. If they do that, but they say and confirm the Switch 2 is backwards compatible and all of your Switch cartridges and your digital Switch games will carry over, then everyone who maybe wants Mario and Luigi or the new Zelda game, once they learn that the Switch 2 is backwards compatible, they can still buy those games, play them on the current Switch they have now, but they can also know as soon as the Switch 2 comes out and they move on from the Switch to the next generation, well, that brand new Mario and Luigi game that they just bought, they can continue to play that on their Switch 2. So, yes, there's the hardware sales conversation, but as I mentioned, I don't think that's a big concern right now. Sales are so slow. Market saturation. Everyone and their mother who wants a Switch has one, if not 2 or 3. I think Nintendo realizes that. The games matter. If they confirm backwards compatibility, all the games we have, the games we're still going to buy, if we know they're going to play on the Switch 2, I don't think it's going to stop anyone from buying some of these biggest games, even this year. In fact, I would make the argument that if this month in October, next week, let's say, or even in November, if they reveal the Switch 2, they reveal backwards compatibility, more so than cannibalizing some of their own sales for the holiday of 2024, I almost think it might have the opposite effect. And again, this is just me theorizing and speculating. I'm an old man game fan that has seen Nintendo and every company go through many generation transitions going back to the 80s, because that's how old I am. I've seen Nintendo do this since the NES was first introduced into the world. And I feel like there is a chance, again, speculating only, that it might actually create hype and generate brand new buzz. If in October or November, before Black Friday, Nintendo shows us the Switch 2, they show us it's backwards compatible, they get us excited for their next generation hardware and power, they show us more of Metroid Prime 4, please, that's the only thing I want in life. They give us a hint at a Mario game, a Smash Brothers game, an Animal Crossing, a new IP, a Monolith's next game, like a new Xenoblade or whatever. Maybe they even show us like a next-gen Pokemon, which would get so many people very excited. All of that stuff will create such hype for Nintendo. I think they could actually use that to their benefit over their holiday. Sure, less people are going to buy Switch hardware machines over the holiday, but as I said, I already don't think that as many people will as before. So I think that people will be so much more excited about just the future of Nintendo as a brand and a hardware developer that they might be more inclined to buy any game that they want to over the holiday, including these new ones, Zelda, Mario Party, and Mario & Luigi. And so, of course, that brings us back to the actual timing of the reveal and if that's even going to happen this year. That's the whole point of this, is that countdown to the reveal of the Switch 2. Obviously, a lot of what's going to determine when they reveal it is when they also plan to release it. If they're releasing it next holiday, like a year from now, obviously they're probably going to wait until the 11th hour and they're going to reveal it in March next year, the end of their fiscal year. But I and many people want to believe, and do believe, that it's probably going to release, I would think, as late as summer next year. So like the first half of 2024, maybe into the later part of summer, like in late July, some sort of weird random timing. I mean, they did that with the Switch in March. Why wouldn't they pick June or July instead one year, just depending on whatever they feel makes sense at the time? There's no hard and fast rule or law that says a game company has to release their next generation in October or November for the fall, for the holiday shopping season, or for Black Friday. They don't have to do that. And the last time they didn't do that, in March of 2017, look at what happened. They released their most successful home console of all time, their most successful generation, and their second most successful hardware they've ever released, right behind the Nintendo DS family. Like, it's obscene what Nintendo was able to achieve by ignoring the convention. They didn't feel they needed to release the Switch in October or November and have a brand new console impossible to find on Black Friday. They actually beat Black Friday to the punch by 6 or 7 months. Why wouldn't they want to do the same thing again next year? So that brings me back to the fact that if they plan to release the thing in March, April, May, June, or July of 2025, then they're going to need that 3 to 6 month lead time. And so, of course, why wouldn't they reveal it next week, the end of October, or sometime in November? Of course, I would be lying to you if I didn't say that I'm not getting a little nervous that as every day and every week goes by that maybe Nintendo's planning to surprise us and hold off and wait until after the new year into 2025 to reveal the next generation console. It sure could be a plan, but I still don't want to believe that. I'm still about 65-35, maybe 60-40 in favor of still seeing the Switch 2 revealed this year, officially by Nintendo. Now, of course, we think, what about next week, the end of October? Sure, maybe on Monday or Tuesday they announce that they're going to reveal the trailer for the Switch 2 next week. That'll be great. What about early to mid-November before Black Friday? Sure, they could do that. If Black Friday comes and goes and we still haven't seen it, is all hope lost? Not really. I mentioned this on a video months and months ago, maybe even near the beginning of the year. I can't remember. But I think as much as we feel like we're running out of time, we'd be silly to remove December, a shocking, crazy December reveal of the Switch 2 from the plate as well, because maybe that's Nintendo's plan. Look, they've released some big games in December before. 2 Xenoblade games, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2, I want to say, was released in December. And, a small little game called Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. That was released in December as well. So games are obviously different than hardware reveals and generation reveals, sure. But what I think that shows us is that historically, Nintendo is not willing to ignore December as a valuable time to make some sort of big move. Whether it's releasing a huge game like Smash Bros. Or Xenoblade, or maybe revealing a new hardware generation and a new console. We know they don't really pay attention to the Game Awards or do anything with the Game Awards, but the Game Awards happens in December. Is there any reason to think there might be some synergy there? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it would even be the opposite, where they'd want to take some of the thunder away from the Game Awards and show that, hey, we're willing to reveal our console the same week or month as the Game Awards, but we're not going to do it at your show, Jeff Keighley. We're going to do it ourselves, you know? Or maybe they do it at the show. Microsoft did it with the Xbox Series X. I mean, you know, we're kind of entering uncharted territory here. They have to transition from the Switch to the next gen very carefully. So maybe something weird like a December reveal or a Game Awards reveal is possible. I'm not like putting my money on those things, but what I'm trying to do at the end of this conversation is just kind of just drop this idea in your brains. Just a little boop, here you go. Don't forget, maybe December, maybe the Game Awards, maybe the day before Black Friday. I don't know. I'm still hoping for next week, the last week of October. But I think all of these things are possible. And more than anything, we're now entering like the 6-month countdown between now and the end of March, when we know we're going to have to see the Switch 2, the next generation, revealed from Nintendo. They told us it was going to happen. Now we wait. We're running out of runway in 2024, but I still think it's going to happen. So I'd love to hear what you guys predict will happen and if you agree with any of my thoughts or not. But this is how I feel. This is the countdown for now. And for now, that's about it.